Hello friends, welcome back to the Python programming session. In today's session, let's see how we can enable or disable a button widget. So friends, let's have two buttons in our code for today's session. The first button can be enabled or disabled by the click of the other button. So let's see how it works in Tkinter. So I've written the code, I'll just run it once. So we have two buttons called button 1 and the other button is having disable. So if I click on this disable button, the button 1 gets disabled. So when I click on it, button 1 has got disabled. It's not working because it has been disabled. And the text on it again changes to enable on the second button. So now when I click on this button now, the button gets enabled. So, how on the click of the button disable or enable, the other button gets disabled or enabled? Let's look into it practically. Let me take my new file. So, from Tkinter, import star, then I'm having my main window equal to tk, win.title is nothing but enable disable button, enable or disable button. And now let me create two buttons called B1 and B2. B1 equal to a button widget placed in the main window and text on it is equal to button or button hyphen 1. Now let me place it on my main window by saying B1. I'm using the grid geometry manager. So row equal to 0 and then column equal to also 0. Now let me create my second button called B2. It's also a button widget. Place it on the main window. Text on it initially I'll keep it as disable. So text I'm keeping it as disable. Now let me place it on my screen. B2.grid. Row equal to 0 and column equal to 1. And let me give it a pad x equal to 20 and pad y equal to 20. So these are the buttons. Now let me call my main event loop called win.main loop. So now let me execute and show how it works. Text equal to disable. Okay, now let me run. So I got my button 1 and again disable. Or let me give a pad x initially for button 1. So let me say pad x equal to 20 comma pad y equal to 20, and instead of row 0 column 1 let me give row 1 column 0. Now let me run the code. So I've got button 1 which is the first button and disable which is the second button. These are the two buttons. Nothing happens as of now because I've not written the functionality for the function still. So when I click the second button, that is disable, I have to call a function. So let me call the function change. And here let me define my function change. So first let me check if the state of the button is normal or disabled. So I'll give a if condition. If button 1 state, I have to check the state parameter, button 1 of state equal to normal. So I'm checking if the button 1 state is initially normal. Initially or any other time also I'm checking whether it is normal. If it is normal, I want to change the state to disabled. So button 1 of state, I'm making it equal to disabled. Else, if it is not normal, then it will be in the disabled state. In such case, I'll make B1 of state equal to normal. So this if condition should work. It should disable or enable the button. So initially it will check if B1 dot state. State means whether it is disabled or in the normal state. If it is normal, then it will change the state to disabled. If it is not normal, then it will change the state to normal. So now let's execute and see. So button 1, I'll disable it. So button 1 has disabled, but the text on this is still showing disable. Have to change the text have to change the text on the second button to enable once this button gets disabled. So let's try out that also. If B1 of state equal to normal, then I'm changing the state of button 1 to disabled, and B2 of text, the text on the second button, that is B2 button 2 of text, I'll make it equal to enable. So once the state of the button changes to disable, the text on the second button changes to enable. And here also let me say B2 of text equal to disable. So friends, hope so this should work. Now let me run the code. Initially I'm having two buttons, button 1 and disable. Let me click on the disable button. The button 1 gets disabled and the text on it changes to enable. So because when the state of the button 1 state changes to disabled, becomes disabled, the text on the button 2 changes to enable. That's what has happened. So now when I click on enable, button 1 gets disabled. So button 1 gets state of button 1 gets disabled, sorry, enabled. So state of the button 1 becomes normal and the text on the button 2 becomes disable. So this particular disable. So again when I click on disable, button 1 becomes disabled and the text on the other button becomes enable. This enable. So with the help of the click of one button, I can change the state of the other button to disabled or normal. So whenever we want to make the button disabled or normal with the click of other button, we can go for this particular code. It is very handy in such scenarios. Hope so friends, it was clear for you. If you have any doubts, please do reach to me out in the comment section. If you like my video, click on the like button and please do subscribe to get notifications of my new videos. Till then, see you. Bye bye.